Fasting day 2. Want to welcome everybody. I know it's the middle of the day or the morning here in California, but I wanted to share a few quick things on this day 2 of fasting, just to give context. Sunday night, after the second assassination attempt happened on President Trump's life, I just felt so compelled in my spirit. We need to fast and pray for 3 days. There's a lot of reasons that we need to fast and pray for America, but one of the big ones is just it is getting so crazy with the amount of violence and vitriol and attacks against President Trump's life and our nation and just the chaos that we're in right now. And I mean, I have a bunch of other things. Obviously, it's always a good idea to seek the Lord, but I feel really crucial. So anyway, I released this statement on Sunday night. Immediately, 4,400 people agreed to join the fast. 4,400 people. That's at the minimum right now are fasting and praying for America. I think the number is way higher, but I was just so moved by that response. I'm like, this is definitely a God thing. I've never seen that kind of response before in my life, especially when challenging people to a fast, which is not popular. And just so you know, like I love food a lot. I really, really, really do. So this is a big sacrifice, but yet it's been so powerful. So day 2, I'm on just a water fast. I know some of you out there are probably doing a Daniel fast or doing other things. I just wanted to share an encouraging word with you. I'm not going to take really long with this. I feel so energized in my spirit. That's one of the amazing things about fasting is you're saying, I'm refusing the nutrients and the bread that I normally take of the world that provides me sustenance, because I want to seek after a bread in the spirit. I want something new and fresh in the spirit for my life, for my family, for my nation. And you guys know this. We've gone to almost 50 U.S. state capitals right now, bringing worship and prayer. We have tirelessly, done podcasts and promos and shared testimonies and preached the gospel and seen thousands come to Jesus. We've done a lot of this work. However, there comes a moment where you just feel like, gosh, Lord, we want to bombard heaven. We want to call forth a spiritual army of worshipers to rise up. I got my California, the enemy can't have this state shirt. These are exclusive that we're releasing this Friday in LA. So all of you West Coast people got to join us at Angelus Temple this Friday. We are going to have a prayer vigil. We're going to have a worship night. We're going to pray together. It is going to be amazing. But all right, day 2, let me give you my encouragement. Isaiah 42, verse 9, it says, "See, the former things have taken place, and new things I declare. Before they spring into being, I announce them to you." One of the things I feel like is we are in the midst of such a new awakening and revival. And it's like people, I mean, guys, you got to notice this, like all over the world, like scales are coming off of people's eyes. Like Russell Brand, the famous movie star, professing his love for Jesus, getting baptized on a live stream. Rob Schneider, another actor, professing his love with Jesus, posting about it. Elon Musk coming into this awareness of the agendas that are at play. Like God is moving in really powerful ways. And so I feel like, oftentimes the greatest attacks come just as something new is about to be released. I've seen this in my life as well. The enemy always fights hardest to control and to push down and to snuff out the new move that God's going to bring. And we see this promise in Isaiah 41, before they spring into being, I announce them to you. So if you're on this live stream, if you're fasting and praying, if you guys are joining with me, you're already on the tip of the spear. You're the ones saying, before they spring into being, I know something new is coming. You are already the ones that are sensing the new thing of what God is about to do. This is why you're joining with me. This is why you're crazy enough to take 3 days and say, I'm going to fast and pray. This is not normal. People don't do this normally these days, even in the church, right? And then it says in verse 10, and this is the part where it gets real exciting. It says, Sing to the Lord a new song, his praise from the ends of the earth. You who go down in the sea and all that is in it, you islands and all who live in them. Let the wilderness and its towns raise their voices. Let the settlements where Kedar lives rejoice. Let the people of Selah sing for joy. Let them shout from the mountaintops. Let them give glory to the Lord and proclaim his praise in the islands. Then the Lord will march out like a champion. Like a warrior, he will stir up his zeal. With a shout, he will raise the battle cry and will triumph over his enemies. So we have this beautiful picture of exactly what we're doing right now. That when we sing to the Lord, shout his praise from the ends of the earth, worship in our car as we're picking up our kids from school, which we've been doing a lot of this week, or taking them to practice or whatever. When we pray, when we engage in the heavenly realms, it's like, guys, it doesn't just bounce up and come back. It says that there's a crescendo moment where then it moves the heart of the Lord. It says, then the Lord will march out like a champion. After the culmination of all this prayer and all this worship, I mean, people think we're crazy. Like, the amount of money and energy and time and hassle and warfare we've encountered to go to all 50 U.S. state capitals. Guys, this has been the craziest journey of my life. And not only that, we've gone to India and we've gone to South Africa and we've gone to Australia and we've gone, 4 cities last week across Canada. Like, we are relentlessly and passionately and joyfully taking the sound of praise and worship across the earth, right? Well, here's the thing. It says there comes a point in Isaiah 42 where the Lord responds. It says, then the Lord will march out like a champion, right? There comes a point where the bowls of incense and worship that it talks about in Revelation get so full that they begin to pour back out on the earth. And that's what we're believing that is going to happen. That's what we're believing is going to happen in these next 4 capital cities. As we come to Pennsylvania and Georgia and North Carolina and Arizona, this is what we're believing is going to happen on October 26th on the National Mall. This is why we're fasting and praying. Why? Because we're in a crisis as a nation and we need an outpouring of God. We actually need God to intervene. Like, part of this fast and part of this prayer, and this worship we're doing is saying, God, we're not okay down here. We need heavenly, divine intervention. Like, we need you. We're not okay. Things are not okay. We need you to intervene in our situation. We need you to intervene in our nation. We need you to intervene right now with your power and your spirit and your authority and your breakthrough. And so it says that the Lord will march out like a champion, like a warrior, he'll stir up his zeal. And I believe we're in a season right now where there's a culmination of worship. There's a culmination of prayer. There's a culmination of all of the intercession and the fasting and the prayers. And it's gone up before the Lord. And I believe heaven is going to respond. We're going to see such a response. I don't know if you guys saw the video that we shared today, Testimony Tuesday. We always share, every Tuesday we share a testimony of what God's been doing. And this girl getting delivered instantly at the altar from a spirit of suicide, tried to kill herself the night before. We are seeing an acceleration of the testimonies of people getting freed of demonic oppression and possession. Why? Because there's a people that are willing to worship. There's a people that are willing to pray. There's a people that are willing to take their guitars and their instruments and their voices and go city to city, capital to capital. And there's a people behind the scenes, many of you, that are lifting us up in prayer. And so my heart is today, I just want to encourage you, like, there is a tipping moment, right? There's an Isaiah 42 tipping moment where all of this fasting and prayer and worship begins to move the heart of God, and he responds with power. It says he will, with a shout, he will raise the battle cry. I don't know about you, but I want to hear the shout from heaven. He will raise the battle cry and will triumph over his enemies. And there are enemies of darkness, of destruction, of violence, of suicide, of death, of addiction. There are enemies that need to be triumphed over, of chaos and confusion in our nation. And you know what? The people of God, you and I, worshiping and praying and fasting. I mean, this is not easy. I woke up this morning, I was like, all right, here we go. Here we go, another day. But you know what? It is so powerful, guys, when we lock in to the heart of God. And this is our opportunity. So I want to encourage you, maybe you stumbled on this live stream. You didn't know we are in the midst of 3 days of fasting and prayer. And we have done longer than 3 days. But this to me is an intense one because it's 3 days of just water. It's like a straight up Esther fast, 3 days of just water. And I am so desperate for God to move. And I love food and I love the things of life, but I want the breakthrough in the spirit more than anything right now. And so I want to invite you to join us. We got today and tomorrow left. You can fast a meal. You can fast, entertainment. You can fast Netflix. That's always a good thing to do. And get in the Word, get in the Spirit, get in worship, and join us if you can. We're going to celebrate this Friday night in person at Angeles Temple in LA. We're going to celebrate in person at 7 p.m. and we're also going to broadcast it online. We're working really hard behind the scenes to get the online thing set up. I think it's going to cost us $4,000 or $5,000 to do it. So if you want to help us do that, that would be awesome. You can donate. I think I put the link below. But we're going to work to get the live stream up for Friday night so all of you guys can tune in at 7 p.m. We would love for you to be in the room. I know there's so many people that don't live in the Southern California area want to join us. We want you to join us. So you can help us. You can donate on the link below if you want to help us, but we're going to do our best to live stream the event. We're going to have leaders coming in, pastors, intercessors. There's going to be new songs that are released, new sounds that are released. I believe in this thing, like it says here in Isaiah, the former things have taken place, but new things I declare. I believe there's a new sound that's going to be released. Well, actually, literally a new sound's going to be released because we're releasing an album on Friday. So it's all a timing thing, man. God has synced it all up. It's a fresh sound, a fresh album, and it's going to happen on Friday night, and we're going to be live in Angeles Temple. So be praying for us. Bless you guys so much. And listen, this fasting and prayer, these 3 days, they are powerful to break the back of the enemy. I get so fired up thinking about, I'm over here just trying to stay faithful. It's trying to stay consistent to my call and the call of thousands of others that are joining us. But in the midst of it, there's a spiritual warfare. God's moving on our behalf. It's happening all around us. All right. Love you guys. I saw some of you saying you love the t-shirt. The enemy can't have this state. That's what we're declaring. You can get this in person on Friday in LA. Share the stream out there. Share the word out there. And you know what? God is going to move on our behalf. The Lord will march out like a champion. He's going to stir up his zeal. Love you guys. Keep going. Don't give up. You can do this. Day 2.